Hello and good evening. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people keep coming back, and I'm never sure why, but they come and enjoy these silly games with me every Friday, and this is yet another one of those. So we're using Roll20 as our virtual tabletop of choice. The character art and the tokens we're done using Hero Forge. Let's get to the people so we can get playing, because I don't want to wait.
And this is Sunday, not Friday.
It ended in a Y. We do the same thing on Friday, it's just a different game. We do the same thing on Saturday, it's just a different game. We get together 3 nights a week and be silly. So let's do some of that. Thank you, though. Thank you for posterity. I was wrong. Again, yay, now we know it was me. Let's talk to Bison first. Hello, thank you for joining us, and thank you for bringing the Bigfrid. Where can we find you when you're not here?
I am allegedly have a Twitch channel. I do apparently stream on it occasionally. It's not my fault this time. I had family in town.
Okay.
But yeah, that is supposed to be Tuesday nights. We'll see if that happens. I don't know. Maybe.
You got to start a YouTube channel to put it all on afterwards.
Yeah, you'd think.
So that you can, so you can send people there.
Yeah, right. But yeah, other than that, I'm here.
Excellent.
That's where you find me.
Multiple nights a week. In some cases. Next. Solar Dasher, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing us Beowulf. And I see you have a Floof Wolf with you this evening. That's wonderful. Where can we find you when you're not here? He said, expecting another kind of similar response to the last one.
Beowulf, I like that.
Beowulf, that's much better.
I do have my own channel for Twitch. I haven't used it, but there was a good reason yesterday. My niece graduated from high school, so we were attending a party for her.
Nice. Excellent.
She apparently made valedictorian, so I'm very proud.
Ooh, damn.
Ooh, frothy pants.
Nothing like starting life with expectations. I almost said unrealistic expectations, but I took that back, and then I said it anyway. We will not remove that in
She
editing.
got pretty much a full scholarship to the college she wanted to go to, except for the room and board. But I'm very, very, very proud of her.
Rightfully
now let's see
so.
how well her sister does.
That is spectacular.
Her sister graduates next year.
Excellent.
Hey.
Oh, full ride. That is nice. That is a smart human being right there. Speaking of smart human beings, you see that? Did you see that segue? Oh, Sarah, tell us about your stuffs.
I have a YouTube channel called Tango Productions, and I'm working on a big project right now called Bravely Broken. Yeah.
And I can take a hint when I hear one. Let's move on, shall we? Let's get started. Last time, the three of you met a dragon with mommy issues. Norman wanted nothing more than to take you home to mommy at the hotel and have a nice dinner, but you wouldn't listen, and you killed Norman, and he came back because mommy really loves him, and then you killed him again, and that time he stayed dead.
Mommy really loves him, and we showed her why that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, pretty much.
This is one of those moments where you prevented an unbelievable number of horrible events, and nobody's ever going to know because Norman is deceased. But at the end of the fight, you found what you were looking for. To put you back in the plot again after weeks and weeks and weeks of side missions.
He was receased.
Oh. He was, because he was ceased, and then he was deceased, and then he was receased. Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. It's all good. You found the gold tooth of a giant. This is one of the artifacts that you were looking for. Before you, if I remember correctly, before you could lose this one, like you lost the previous 4 and a magic boat, you have decided, I believe in your infinite wisdom, to rush back to the Eye of the Allfather now, right? With this artifact and go, next step. Knowing full well that somebody is ahead of you. Somebody has already used one of the other artifacts to go on a quest for these conchs of teleportation to get you to the Maelstrom to solve the problem of the Ordning. The plot comes rushing back like a summary from a narrator. As you gather yourselves, two of you are in extraordinarily rough shape.
Mm-hmm.
And this you isn't actually here, so I'll make them go away just like that. So you've got time. I mean, it's days and days and days to get back to the Eye of the Allfather. And no, we're not going to do this a roll by a roll by a roll. So first things first, you guys are beside a major highway. This is one of the safest places in an unsafe world. You may have the benefits of a long rest, because I'm assuming you guys were going to bed down, because it was an evening battle.
Yeah.
I remember doing a sunset thing. That seemed to be my theme last week. Silhouettes against the sunset.
Yeah, because you had the full moon come up at the very
end for Beowulf, yes. So yes, as the sun sets, you full rest, back to full health, and full spell slots, and all those other wonderful things. So, you know where you're going. There's a road that goes all the way there. As you wake up, actually, Idicus, you're up all night, right? You don't sleep, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the other two are crashed out for the evening. And Idicus...
Yeah, Bickford doesn't move from where he just fell.
Yeah, I just lay there and heal all night.
After an hour or two, you just hear him start to snore.
Yeah. So the two that can sleep do sleep. Idicus, about halfway through the night, you look over by the horses. And just beyond them in the darkness, you could see a bunch of yellow eyes. Low set to the ground, about your height. And in light of the full moon, you catch the bristles of fur and teeth and big fluffy tails. There's a pack of wolves coming for the horses.
I'm gonna stealth over to Beowulf.
Yeah.
And just try and wake them.
Yeah.
As they're using the dragon as a sleeping bag.
Oh yeah, that's right, because he was eating at the end.
Yeah, I could just see his back legs and tail.
Yeah, he's halfway into
out.
the dragon.
Yeah.
You pull him
Just in
out,
a
there's
food
still
coma.
chunks of meat hanging out of his mouth.
Full
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
coma.
So yes, you go and wake Beowulf. Yeah.
In his stuffed.
Yeah.
Well, it's not so stuffed anymore because it's probably been a couple of hours. So
Yeah.
in his food days, he does wake up and looks at Idicus and says, "It's still night. Why no light? Wake up. Why?
The horses are in trouble. There are,
And he says in Goblin,
the wolves.
So something is attacking the horses. Okay, got it. He grabs a canteen,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like, puts the canteen away and just splashes his face with some of the blood from the dragon.
Yeah.
Wake him up, wake his butt up.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
There we go. He shakes off,
Yeah.
and then he attempts to stealth over to like right beside the horses, keeping an eye out as he walks.
Well, the horses know you, so you just flow over. Yeah, give me a stealth check.
I was about to say, would you like a stealth check?
Yeah, let's have a roll just for fun.
19.
Yeah, 19. You flow over, and because you know the horses and the horses know you, you kind of use them as cover. You get down low and look underneath all the horse bellies, and you see in the trees, you right away, you can see it and smell it. There are 8 wolves in the trees.
Oh, that's right. I don't have spells no more. Durr. I was about to say I can't speak with animals, but I can't do that no more.
You have not yet had a full rest, but I'll give you the hit points. But you weren't down.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I
know
don't.
you
He's
don't
not
have
a
it as
ranger
class
anymore.
anymore. Yeah, I know.
Because as a ranger I could, but as a blood hunter I can't.
Yes. Yep.
All right. So, he's going to, as carefully as possible, work on getting closer to the wolves themselves.
Okay. What is your intent?
To find out their intent as they look at the horses.
Oh, they're definitely hunting the horses. You can tell that from here. They're
Oh, okay.
moving in as a pack and spreading out in a semicircle. Yeah.
His intent is to try and save the horses then,
Okay.
but try not to shed the blood of the wolves as well.
Okay. So, how would you do that? There is a small fire still banked as you guys were sleeping. Yeah, it's full moon out.
I'm just sitting
All
here.
right.
I'm like, there's something I can say, but I'm technically asleep.
Okay, so he's at this point he's going to notice there's the full moon.
Yes.
So it's a possibility they can probably see him even just if it's the tip of his tail.
Yeah.
So what he's going to do, he's going to stay on all fours and let out a howl towards the moon. As using as much of his wolf side as he can as he's howling. Also trying to convey the fact that he would rather make friends than enemies.
Give me a performance check.
You got it.
That sounds appropriate, I think. Oh dear.
Oh,
Okay.
You're off key, which
I'm
is weird
off
because
key and
wolves have perfect pitch.
Yes.
I'm off key, and then I end up standing up as I'm howling, so it's just not making any sense to them at all.
Well, I'll go one step further than that. As you sort of stand up and it becomes, there's just too much human in it, because you're not a wolf. You're an in-between.
Hybrid.
And that is the note that comes out. And they start to back away. They give me an insight check with advantage, because you're wolfish.
Okay. Too many buttons to push. Insight.
Insight. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love it.
I wonder what he got.
You
Double seven.
you realize they mistook what you said. They're backing away because they think you're claiming these horses as your own food source. Like a lion standing over their prey going, mine.
Yeah.
And they start to back away from you into the dark, looking for prey that isn't protected by a you.
At this point, he's going to actually just pull down his hood
Yeah.
to reveal his real ears
Yeah.
and face and look at him and say, wait, stop. I have food.
If you say it in Sylvan, which would make sense because they're forest animals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you say that, and they look back. They can't speak, but it's clear that they understand exactly what you said. And the leader turns and comes towards you.
Now, Beowulf is going to get down to look at the leader eye to eye
Yeah.
and
you just-
say,
like you're there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, he's going to say it again in Sylvan. He's going to say, I don't want you to attack the horses. I have a plethora of dragon meat. Fresh. Killed it not just but a couple hours ago. I am happy to share with you guys that meat if you are hungry.
And like I said, you guys are like snout to snout, and he sniffs because you're covered in dragon gore, right? You just splash some
my
fresh
face
stuff
with it, put
on
right
top
up
of the
my-
stuff from that was been there all night, and you've been buried up to here in dragon most of the night, passed out. Yeah, for us.
Hmm?
For us?
Mm-hmm. I will share with you.
And he's doing all this just with heads, like he's not actually talking, but you can read
Yeah.
wolf head movements. Right?
Yeah, I mean, that was part of the training.
Yeah.
Of course.
Head tilts.
And it waits.
Yeah, little head tilt.
They wait. They're waiting for you to back away. You've said it's not. Yeah.
He's going to stand up and, as an act of trust,
Yeah.
turn around and start heading back towards the dragon, hoping that they will follow rather than attack.
They do follow, and they make a very large, very obvious semicircle around the horses, never getting close enough to startle them, and then follow you to the carcass. Iticus, you're watching all of this, interrupted at any moment. Yeah, and Bickford's having a snoo.
He's just gonna back away and
Just watch.
Well, I would assume that maybe my ugly howl would have possibly
That is
woken him up
entirely. Well, I don't
unless
know.
he is like a deep sleeper.
14, yeah, you heard a noise.
Oh, there's dogs. Those are big dogs.
So they follow you right up to the dragon. Yeah, Iticus and now Bickford. You see Beowulf walk past, and behind them, not far behind them, like one step and one leap behind them, there's just a row of wolves walking over towards. I mean, it's a dragon. You could eat all night and still not have made a major dent, right? So
Exactly.
yeah,
That's why I made that suggestion. I want the horses safe,
yep.
but we have a dead dragon. They can eat all they want.
So you
Okay.
take them to it and step away, and they dive in. And at that point, you notice as they go in, they're all skin and bones. They haven't had much to eat. You think about it, this is a really deadly place. You know, even here, even this far south, even this close to the road, a pack of wolves is starving. So something's not right.
Giants eat a lot of food.
But they tear into the body. That's how you guys start the next morning. To the sounds of like 20 Bickfords all just diving into this dragon. There's scales and yeah. Yep.
Before we leave, Bickford actually goes back up to the mound
20
and he
Beowulfs.
grabs that
Sorry.
noose.
Yeah.
He grabs the noose that the bugbear was on.
Yep.
And when we get to a forest, because it's going to be a while from
Yep.
what I can see here on the map, he's going to basically do the equivalent of sending him to rest, even though I remember what happened last episode.
So yeah,
Section.
yeah. I call them episodes because they go out, they get edited. They're episodes.
Howl didn't work
I'll
because
leave
of
it at
The
that.
ones that I don't
snores.
record, I call sessions. I don't know. Seems makes sense to me. Anyway, but yes, what I would suggest is maybe that at least part of it, maybe just a bit of the rope from that noose becomes part of the idol. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna take that and he's gonna fashion a belt out of part of the sinews. from the
Nice.
rope.
Nice. Okay. And like it's
That's what he.
yeah. So that's you do that. That's that sort of. Okay.
As we go.
Oh, this makes sense. This allows us to bring that other thing in. Clerics every morning technically are supposed to have a pray and pick their spells for the day. I don't know if I've ever seen it done. But that's technically how this is supposed to work. So at least we'll take the morning prayer part. And during that, you sort of, as a ritual, you add to this idol another item to the greatness of Grand Cool, right?
And he also, while doing that, he also kind of thanks Pelor for his assistance. The smite did definitely a lot. And he's starting to understand what the Celestial meant by they're not that different.
Yes. You're right. You guys are over here. So yeah, it's through the crags and up through everywhere. Yes. Iticus is measuring. Okay. But that's a good point. we're not going to do this mile by mile, day by day, even sort of thing. This is going to be just sort of a cinematic pass through. But which way are you going? Through the crags, across that sort of boggy area, straight north to the river? Because you're heading back to, way over here.
We'd have to go to Mirabar.
You have to go to
Yeah, we'll have to
Mirabar,
go to
and
Mirabar
then
first.
probably up here near the Great Worm Cavern, and then through this little pass here.
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
why
up.
I was measuring to see how far it was to Xanthar's Keep versus
I see.
Mirabar.
Yeah.
I know Xanthar's Keep, if you remember. Remember what that
It's
is?
a ruin.
Yes, but remember who's there? Meet
There-
my little friend.
Yeah.
That's the little the halfling vampire who
Oh,
locked you in the basement.
that's where that bastard.
Yes, Xanthar's.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Xanthar's Keep. So there's 4 liches, 4 lich knights still there that he protected you from, and him.
I think we'll go to Mirabar instead.
Straight across the crags to Mirabar,
Yeah.
or north and then across. Either way, you're not going to Xanthar's Keep apparently. All right, that's too bad.
No.
He's-
I don't.
Well,
He's
That
had a
that
month to
halfling and I
work up
don't
a good
exactly have
rage.
Halfling and I don't exactly have the best fucking relationship.
Yeah, like I said, he's had a month to work up a good undead rage at you guys.
Mhm.
Cause you zapped him from a distance. You guys did all kinds of nasty shit to him. That's right.
Let's see,
Mostly
I-
Zulthus, but it wasn't Zulthus at the time. It was Creature, but never mind.
It was Creature and Corfell. Corfell burnt his place to the ground.
Right,
Creature
Yeah.
freed all of his thralls.
right.
Yeah.
And I took some booze.
You stole.
Yeah.
That's right. You stole some of his priceless booze and the toxic stuff that they used
Yeah.
that he used to knock you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, even the priceless stuff was like friggin' tainted too.
Yeah. He lit his house up. Yes. So probably not a good idea. So you start heading out over the crags. I just changed them. Morgar's mound was an actual mound. Like it was a built thing that looked like a dragon, more or less. The rest of this whole area is natural formations. This a modern geologist would say this used to be a river that's meandered and made all these little islands and oxbow lakes and all that sort of stuff. What it means is you basically have 2 choices. You can take the easy route and stay in the bottom of these and just sort of S your way along in the valleys. But it means you're in the bottom of a valley at all times and your view of what's going on around you is going to be very limited. Or you can sort of tip to tip hop, like go up and over a mound and then back down into a valley and up and over, and so at least you get a view every once in a while. But that would be much more difficult
And time consuming.
and time consuming and tiring and hard on the horses. You still have your horses.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
turning into a gag now. I hope you guys know this. The game is now on. I, as a DM, will never try and kill my party members, but I'm going to try and get your horses. It's a joke. It's a trope as old as rats in the basement of the tavern.
Artax, no.
How many horses you go through in an actual adventure. I've kept track a couple times, and it's a disturbingly large number. So, but you guys
We've
still
already
have
lost 2 boats.
Yep. Yeah, you guys lose magical transport. You're fine with horses. But
Yeah.
with that, what is your tell me, what is your, you guys are right on the edge of this line. You could go and try and sneak past Xanthar's Keep and stay in the sort of green grass area.
And then we'd also be next to the forest too with
Yep.
Lurkwood. Right?
You go right into
Yeah, next to
Lurkwood, which is
Lurkwood.
home, yeah.
Well, it's home, and it's also where all those friggin' bone giants live. 'Cause
Oh yeah,
that-
the undead giants.
Yep.
Um,
And their Lich Lord boss, giant Lich. Because there's
yeah.
nothing terrifying about a 25-foot tall Lich.
So we are literally stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
Um,
much. We could also go pretty much straight north to
Yep.
the Blackford Road and then head to Mirabar that
Well,
way.
there's a river in the way, but you could certainly
There's a
go
river
straight
in the way.
north
You
to
can- or
to the
to the
river,
river
and
and
follow
then
the
take-
river.
and
Yeah,
follow
there's,
the river
there's
out.
always going to be a path along the river, or maybe even boats. Who knows? But yeah, that is
Maybe.
certainly an option where somebody just arrowed there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
can
hit
see it all. You can't hide it from me. I
I
am
forgot how to
GM.
do that, so whatever.
Yeah, So-
Um,
you
I
can hide
think-
it from each other, but you can't hide it from me.
I say we take the river.
Not the
Because
worst.
Yeah.
Bickford's really not a fan of, dealing with that friggin' vampire.
Yeah.
So north.
All right, north to the
Yeah.
back to the road and
Idiocus,
the
you're
river.
grinning. What are you thinking?
He wants to go to the long road. He doesn't care because the vampire never really hurt or bothered him.
No, yeah. He doesn't have a beef with four liches and a vampire or halfling. Yeah.
Nor does he really have a problem with the undead.
Yeah. He's kind of not alive. Yeah, sure. So, do you express that or
No. He's just
okay?
like,
Okay. So
Got
you
outvoted.
follow. So you head north. As you're moving across these desolate landscape with the tall sort of blowing grass, everybody give me a perception check.
Nope.
Nope.
8.
The grass is too tall because you can't see it.
11.
Oh,
With a
Bickford,
plus
you're
9, I got a 1 and a 2.
looking down, Bickford, you're looking down to make sure Idiocus doesn't get lost in the grass. Oh, and Bale, wow, that was a 1, a 2 and a 3, and an 8 and a 2. Wow. Well, yeah, wow. Except for that 13 at the end. Wow. Nobody knows nothing. You head north and start to move through these hills. It's tough going, but it's, sort of up a hill, down a hill, up a hill, down a hill. You get all the way to the edge. You come up to, your legs would be burning at this point. Even your little metal legs have got to be smoking in the afternoon sun.
Yeah,
But
but
I
you-
thought we were on the horses.
or on the horses. The horses' little wooden metal legs are smoking in the sun. And yes, you horse over the hills, and you get to this area where you look down on this small green area before the river. Give me perception checks again.
I'm going to take my passive at 19.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because my
Wow.
dice luck hate me.
Yeah, getting the shit dice rolls out of the way. There's an 8. There's
There
a
we go,
19.
18.
Yeah.
Passive is 10.
Passive is only 10, so yeah, okay. So, the only person that sees this notices this is Beowulf. There's no
And me.
traffic on the river.
He jumps in. Well, this is how he figures it out. He jumps into the river to wash off all the dragon blood
Yeah,
and realizes he's not bumping into any boats,
Yeah.
people walking along the river, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just empty.
exactly. And
He
this
looks
should
at
be
the others like a half-drowned dog. And
There's literally a sort of pinkish foam downstream of you as the blood washes out of your fur.
there's no people here. I don't hear anybody. I don't feel any ripples from boats, people walking, nothing. It's too quiet here.
For pirates, they walk fast. Maybe we should get going on. Pick up the pace a little. I don't like being exposed like this.
Well, since we're on some flat land, we should be able to.
As you...
He
as
lets
you-
the horses drink from the water too, by the way.
Of course, yeah. You have a sort of your noon break here. We're gonna do ridiculous things to the scale on this map for a short period of time here to get you where you're going.
Well, Game of Thrones, the travel system here.
So you, yes. How far do you go? Well, until the next encounter. Why would I bore you with all the shit in between? As you're getting ready to move on after lunch, I'm just going to use the same rules as before. Beowulf, this makes sense because you hear it. In the distance to the northeast, almost northeast. No, pretty much straight northeast. Right down the line of the river, you hear boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Give me a history check. This is a long stretch on a history roll, but that's what I'm going for.
Ah, but I have advantage.
10.
That's That's a hell of an advantage.
You know what, though? I'm going to give it to you because this history check was actually only a couple days ago. When you were watching Luskan be destroyed, there was a boat in the harbor. A big, big boat, giant-sized boat, metal, firing weaponry at the city. This is the same sound, but it's up by Mirabar.
His ears are gonna drop. He still hasn't put the hood back up, by the way. His ears are just gonna drop, and he's gonna get this "oh, fuck" look on his face.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna say, there's company up at Mirabar, guys. I think I know why the river is dead right now.
Bickford, I hosed you out of a
19.
Yeah, a 19. So I'll let you use it here. You kind of perk up and listen. It is that same ship. It is the same cannons. The river is empty, and there's a slick on the water. It's kind of a rainbow. At first you thought it's coming off of Beowulf, but that's all pink and foamy. This is coming down the river. It looks like rainbows on the water.
He's gonna sort of take a stick and like swish it around.
Yeah.
Make sure it's a stick with leaves on it, like branches.
Yep.
Like it's not like just a stick.
Yeah.
Like a limb of a tree. And like swish it around and sort of look at it.
Okay, Idicus, before you pound yourself into a tiny soft submission with a stuffy.
I know what this means. Idicus has no clue, so he's just gonna try and pick it up.
Are you going to try to scoop it up with your hand, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's shiny.
Yeah, so that's two of you. Beowulf, you see what they're doing, and there's this rainbow slick on the water.
Oh dear.
Before I answer all three of you what your answer is, I want to know what all three of you are doing with it. Because Beowulf, you realize now it's coming down. It's getting on you.
He's gonna say, I'd rather the dragon blood. He's gonna try and get to a little point where there's not as much of the slicky, oily stuff.
Yep.
Shiny rainbow.
Yep.
Yes, that's what he's thinking.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, and he's gonna try and wash it off, and then he's gonna. I'm guessing it's more towards the other side of the river, so he's gonna get up and walk onto the land itself and shake off.
Yep. Yeah.
Like it out.
Yeah, you got most of it out. There's just enough left to act as a nice conditioner. Now, Idicus, I'm just going to do this in reverse order. Your hand comes up and there's like rainbow all over your hands. And when you go like that, it kind of moves around and it kind of goes in you and makes things really easy, movie. Like your fingers are even more dexterous than normal.
Mm-hmm.
Bickford, you hold up the stick and there's just this rainbow stuff running down the stick towards your hand.
He was gonna sniff it. He was gonna like hold it out and just like.
Oh yeah. It wow. It smells bad. It smells like rotten everything, but something that's been rotten for a long time, like a compost pile, but 1,000 years old.
Mm. Yeah, Bigford's just gonna like kind of drop it.
Yeah.
Just sort of at the shoreline and sneeze.
Yeah.
And just sort of like, oh, that's nasty. Oh, it smells like ogre's butt. Mm. And kind of look at Beowulf and he's like, do you think maybe that friggin' ship caused it? I mean, the cannon or whatever the noise is. He knows what a cannon is.
Yeah.
In the water.
Yeah. He knows the cannon.
You've probably never seen one before this, and you certainly hadn't seen a giant scaled one where it's got a bore like this.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna sniff the air, and I'm assuming smell the gunpowder because I'm sure he knows the gunpowder.
You can smell the gunpowder in the distance, but you can smell this oily smell as well. And you're getting layers and depths to it. I will give you advantage. In fact, you don't even have to roll. Beowulf, this will burn.
Oh dear.
It's flammable. Like, not like processed oil flammable,
Right.
but it's basically coal oil. So,
Yeah. He's gonna say, guys, no fire. Especially around me right now. No fire.
yeah. Looking around for an eddy in the water that doesn't have any. Anybody got any soap?
It's a good thing Corfell and Kane aren't here.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, so I guess it's crisis time in Mirabar. We should get going.
Edicus,
Agreed.
you have Bernie Shiny on your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, actually, that's not true. You have shiny on your fingers that somebody has told you is Bernie.
Do I have anything in my
So this soul would have had soap. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe even some Dawn. Yeah.
I have mending, not
Give you the old oiled bird treatment
Uh.
before sending you back into the wild.
Because I'm just gonna say I don't know which one of these would, but like a flint and steel.
Oh yes, yeah,
He's
Yeah,
just
oh,
gonna
yeah.
kind of pull it out of his bag
yeah.
and just like start.
Because you put the flint between two of your fingers. You just go with the steel, right? And there's a little spark and it hits your hand and thump. And I don't know if you've ever been stupid enough to do that with lighter fluid, where you dip your finger in lighter fluid and then light it on fire for a second. Yeah, and it's okay for a couple seconds. So for a couple seconds, it's like, ooh, Bernie, rainbowy, ow. What do you do before you take? I'll give you.
I'm sorry,
before you
guys.
take damage.
I'm sorry, guys.
Nope, don't be sorry.
I'm gonna run into the river and
Yes.
put it in the river.
Yes.
Yes.
So you flaming
was coming.
candle finger, because now it's starting to burn Edicus and not just the fuel, right? So it's flaming finger, and of course you're Edicus, so you're running with it out in front of you. So there's this flaming finger right in front of your face. And you get to the river and you go, and it just starts to spread. Now everybody may
Edicus.
react. There was no way that wasn't going to let that happen.
He's just like, Edicus, what are you doing? He runs over and grabs Edicus and puts him away from the fire. He sees that Edicus is on fire and goes like that
Yeah.
on
Edicus?
the
Yeah. Okay.
on the finger.
So that's your plan? Yeah.
He's just kind of freaking out at this point because he doesn't know what to do. Normally, water does not light fire.
No, you did the right
He's very
thing.
confused.
Yeah. And yeah, he's right. Your finger is just, so you're getting pulled away. Your finger's still on fire. It didn't even work. Like after all of that, that all got worse, and this didn't even get better. And then whoomp, when a Bickford's giant hands comes down and smothers the fire on your finger, making the pain go away.
Yeah, it's like probably most of his forearm too.
Yes, yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
his Bickford's
Big
Right,
mitt.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. The fire burns out about 20, 30 feet and then just fades away. And then some more of this oil just sort of fills up that burnt area and flows past in the river. So no, you can't light a wick that's going to end at a ship 200 miles away from here.
That was not the plan. It was just an oops.
I know. I'm just saying, before you start planning.
Oh.
Yes. Pickford
Yeah.
lost more fur. I have one naked
Yeah.
finger, too.
Bickford just sort of looks at Edicus. It's like,
Bad shiny.
okay, fire bad. Good to know. Ow.
Sorry, you tried twice. Go ahead.
Bad shiny.
Bad shiny.
Yeah, very bad shiny. Okay, good to know. Shit lights on fire.
You start to work your way up the river. As you do, you start to see fish belly up dead floating down the river.
Really bad shiny.
The more you get there, the more booming you hear. And now, a common sign now, you saw, well, not common, you've seen it once before at Luskin. In the distance where Mirabar should be, it's just a big smudge of smoke.
Keep down.
Man, they're gonna have to change the name of the 10 towns.
Right?
Yeah, Bigfoot's like this. We aren't even a full party. There's no way we're gonna try and take on this ship.
Nope. Oh, God, no. This ship would give either the new Harshnag or that dragon he's fighting a fair fight, like one-on-one with either one of them.
Yeah.
This is a ship full of giants and cannons behind armor with coal oil-powered steam engines. Yeah.
And we're not gonna light them on fire. Not from the looks of it.
Yeah. Oh, chat, wait for it. We're getting there. What do you do?
Bickford pauses. At this point, he's starting to realize just how bad things are getting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 2 big towns. Mirabar was not a small city by any measure, and it was very well defended. Okay. To the Valley of Kedron, I guess. We should try and stay on the crag side of the river.
Yeah, this is a major river, the Mirar. Without a ship, this would be extremely difficult to cross here.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try and find a boat. There's always little villages and stuff, but that's why we can't have nice things.
Beowulf's gonna pretty much kind of have his horse jump back over across the river because he's on the other side at the moment.
Okay, you swam across, sure.
He's
Yeah,
gonna
for the
rejoin
purposes
the-
of, yeah, you joined the party
He's
again.
basically rejoining the party.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the question is,
Unfortunately, it is time to move on.
do you continue towards Mirabar, or are you going to go around, or what's the plan?
I think we need to go around, probably
Yeah.
continue through the crags.
I was thinking through here, like, stay low and use the hills as cover.
So stay in the
Because we
valleys
don't-
this time.
Yeah, because we don't know how
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
like through here, maybe just to the forest,
Yeah.
along the edge of the forest, and then follow the edge of the forest over
So
here.
I'll pop you roughly there. It doesn't mean you're actually there on the map, it's just roughly. But you make your way through this area. It takes, another day. Let's say that's day 1. This is day 2. We're not going to roll for encounters every night and all that shit. We're just going to get you where you're going. You
Yeah,
get
sounds
to
fair.
here at sort of the end of day 2. It seems like a good place to stop because if you come out of this valley mouth, you can see ahead of you and below you the long road. It is filled almost exclusively with what is clearly refugees moving south. Sort of everything they own on a cart, pulling it, people, just refugees.
Mm-hmm.
But as it's the end of the day, you start to set up camp for that night. It seems like a good spot to do. Is that all right? You guys? Okay.
Yeah.
The traffic stops, and it's not like this is refugee traffic. They wouldn't stop at night. They'd keep going. You're fleeing. You get the hell out until you can't move anymore. But this stops, and then starts to leave the roads. Like you can see, even though you're in these hills and in a valley, you're still above the road, and you can see the people going to both sides of the road, clearing it and moving the side, sometimes 50, 100 feet off the road. The ones with families going further because they think it's safer. And as the final ray of sunshine drops, and the now 1 day past full moon rises, the sound of galloping can be heard coming from the south.
Bickford moves to a place where he can get a good view.
Okay.
What's
Iticus?
going on?
How far are we from the road?
How far do you want to be?
He wants to just sneak up right to it so
Yeah.
he can see.
Okay. Yes.
And
I'll give you
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you got time, like because
Bigford has a vantage point.
So you're up on a knoll. You're a bugbear on a knoll. Oh, that's a different show. Iticus, you just through the grass right up to the edge of the road. I'm giving you guys both these because I want you to see this from different points of view. Beowulf, what are you doing?
I'll probably be up on a different knoll.
Okay.
Probably one that's not as tall as the one Bickford would be on.
Yeah.
Somewhere a little bit like between, in distance wise, like between where Bickford is and where Idicus is.
Absolutely.
So kind of
So,
like
yeah.
in the middle.
You bet. And you're sort of just
like three
crouched
different
down.
vantage points.
Yeah. Crouched down, making a low profile and watching. So let's
Sit
start.
back
Let's start with the two on the hilltops because you'd see it first. Bickford slightly before Beowulf, but it's close enough. I'm just going to describe it once. In the southern distance, the galloping increases and gets louder and louder. As it does, the people move further and further off of the road. And then you see the first of them, and the second, and the third, and the fourth. The liches on their bone horses charging down the road, heading north towards Mirabar if they stay on the long road all the way. And behind them, a smaller figure on a skeletal donkey, somehow keeping up, but very much not dead. A small, well-dressed figure tears along almost unseen behind the horsed terrors that just blow by. Iticus, you see this from a hoof's eye view. Just undead horse come looming out of the darkness and just boom, 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 right by your head. Then another boom, 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 just a sound of slamming hooves and sparks from their hooves off the road. You're looking up and seeing the undead eyes glazed and looking into the city ahead of you. Then there's a brief pause and then this little skeletal donkey with the halfling very well dressed, swearing violently, was tearing after the liches heading north. Unhorsed, yes. Unhorses. They're ex-horses. There we go. We don't call them undead anymore. They're ex-horses.
Formerly equine in nature.
At one point.
So what do you do, the three of you?
When Bickford sees the halfling, he freezes
Yep.
because he knows that he was this close to being lunch.
Yep.
And that was 4 levels ago. Yeah.
Oh, small chance. Here, all I'm going to say before I roll this die is there's a very small chance of success. How many? I mean, he is one of those, so bam. 19. As the donkey, the tiny donkey, roars along the road, for just a moment, Bickford, you know who it is on the back. It's the tiny vampire, and he's kind of looking around, and he stops and turns, and for just a split second looks exactly at the hill that you're on, and then shakes his head like, no, and continues on down the road.
Bickford may have made a very ungentlemanly noise when he locked eyes. There may have been a slight shitting of pants.
Yeah. Well, at least there's no hair there for it to stick to.
Yeah, right?
Turns out I did you a favor. So, with that, yeah, there's a giant boat assaulting Mirabar, and now 4 liches and a vampire are headed in that direction. But it's dark. It's getting dark. You should probably have a rest.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Beowulf is actually gonna, as they pass, he's gonna have a low growl coming out.
XCOM. Played enough XCOM and D&D to know that odds are meaningless. Yeah, isn't that the truth? You roll enough dice, you get a lot of 20s. You also get a lot of 1s.
Yeah. We've had like we've had a couple this session already.
But you've had a lot of
Almost.
key rolls too. A lot of made it rolls.
That's
So
true. Ah,
so you're taking your evening's rest?
yeah.
Okay.
Bickford, he gets his long rest, but he wakes up pretty much as soon as he can. He is
Yeah.
not spending much time sleeping.
Oh yeah. This is summer-ish time, so it's not dark for very long anyway.
Mm.
Idicus, you're up all night. Is there anything you'd like to do while you're up?
I don't even know if Idicus remembers the liches and the vampire. I don't think he does.
Okay.
So he's just like, eh. And he kind of walks back to the group and he's just gonna take his watch like always.
Okay, yeah. Okay, wow. So after
Yeah.
they pass, Idicus will be the only one that sees this because it's a couple hours because scared people don't go back to the scary place right away after the scary thing is gone. So it's a couple of hours before the refugees start coming back onto the road and continuing to move south. Idicus, now give me the perception check with advantage. Advantageously. There's a nat 20.
Ding.
Nice.
I love it. I know it's
There we
not.
go.
It's not
Criticus
a.
is
Yeah,
back.
Criticus is back indeed. Yeah, and yes, I know technically for some people that doesn't count for squad. It's just a 20, but a 20 is good enough for this anyway. But yay, it's a natural. You find a little hill and get up on top of it, and I mean it's miles and miles and miles to Mirabar, but you can see in the moonlight, you can see the smoke, and you can see a little glint that must be the ship. You can also see 4 tiny, tiny horses and an even tinier donkey charging down the road, and the people spread and they charge, and it closes up, and it's been hours now. They've been riding for hours now. They ride up to and through the gates into the burning Mirabar, the burning city of Mirabar. A couple of minutes later, you see them run out onto the docks of Mirabar, across the water, and start running down and around on the water in a circle around this giant's ship. I mean, it's like watching 4 water skeeters around a crocodile, but they're just circling and circling and circling. Every once in a while, one of them darts in and pops back out. And a couple minutes later, because I'm still not done, I'll stop talking soon. Maybe I won't. I don't know. A couple minutes later, this smaller figure gets off of his bone pony, which collapses into just a pile of bones on the dock, and they just walk across the water, calm as ever, into the boat. Cannonball right past their head. They walk up to the boat, and you see this tiny figure reach up and grab 2 of the metal panels and just go, and they just bend, and he steps into the hull. And a few moments later, all hell breaks loose. You can't hear the screaming, but you can see the explosions. And the rest of the night you watch as different parts of this ship just explode in fireballs. By morning, it's pretty much a burning Hulk.
He's really unfazed by it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So like when everyone gets essentially, if he could, he would be eating like popcorn. But
Yeah.
when everyone gets up, he's just gonna tell them,
Big boat gone.
And as dawn rises, the other 2 of you see the boat come loose from its moorings and start to drift down the river, smoking, still burning in places, and just rotating completely not under control at all.
Alrighty then.
Every once in a
Big
while, the
Fish
water
just was like-
around it bursts into flame for a second as the coal oil burns and then goes out again.
Huh. Probably wasn't else this time.
Very little man.
Oh, Okay. The creepy bastard from last night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Just kind of blinks, thinking about how close... Once again, thinking about how close to getting fucking snacked on he was.
This thing just took, this one little vampire just took out a ship full of giant pirates.
Okay. Well, let's get the hell out of here. And keep going, because, yeah, time's a waste.
You
I don't wanna
okay?
stick around.
That was a
good.
nasty cough. Okay. That looked bad. But yes, you start to move where? You're just going to cut across and head into the edge of the Mirkwood, or?
Yeah, edge of
Lurkwood?
the Lurkwood, and take that up to the Valley of Kedron,
Absolutely.
Kind of exit out over here, I'm guessing.
more or less.
So the next,
Okay.
you keep moving. You move across the main road and into the trees. Idicus, you, again, it sounds like you had an alternate plan again.
Atticus just wants to stay out of the woods.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you get to the edge of the woods. Do you say anything?
Well, we technically can walk beside it along the river.
Yeah, so yeah, let's just let's have a brief conference and be clear. Bickford, I mean, it's possible you guys can spread out and still see each other.
Yeah.
You said along the edge of the forest. Did you mean in it?
Honestly, if we're spreading out a little, Bickford is going to err on the side of the forest just because
Yes.
he misses home.
Yeah, that makes sense. Idicus, you sort of stay out
kinda-
right on the edge, or
Yeah,
okay.
because he remembers that the undead giants were in there, and no, they can't really bother him, but at the same time, he doesn't want them coming out.
Yes, and Beowulf.
Probably just kind of keeping in between Bickford and
Yeah,
Ithaca,
so you're just saying we're
As
hanging
they
back a
walk.
little bit so you can
Yeah.
see everybody. That makes perfect sense.
and then keeping an eye on, the behind them so they don't get attacked from behind.
Mhm.
Well, I'm sure Bickford is paying attention more towards the front.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
He's watching, sort of keeping an ear out for the forest.
So that makes
And
sense. So
in
you're
case,
you got a forest. You're watching over them, and Idicus is sort of watching the plains and everything else to the north, right? Okay.
Yep.
We don't need to roll for this. This is information. This is your home. The Lurkwood, Bickford, is almost empty. There's certainly none of your tribe left here. But there's also no major predators. Any of the large herbivores are gone. There's not much left but birds and lizards. There's
It's
nothing
reminding-
undead here, so go.
Yeah, it's reminding him of the Darkwood when he got lost as a kid.
Yes.
Um,
Very
it's
much like that. Yeah.
Very unsettling. The only thing that's missing is the cold wind. And so he's got he's very somber.
So you're just sort of, it's just you
Because
get quiet.
also
Yeah.
when he was in the forest as a child, he was attacked by a vampire. So
But the vampire's
the,
right over
the
there.
halfling being there, the Lurkwood reminding him of his abduction, quote unquote.
Yep.
He's very tense, but very anxious.
Beowulf. You're watching these two, and you see, you can see Bickford kind of going into bugbear mode. I think you'd call it, sort of just ready to bounce anywhere as soon as just to go as soon as he needs to.
Basically, Beowulf can tell that he's definitely on edge. so to speak.
Absolutely. Yep. So you just continue to follow behind. Give me a perception check
Sure.
with advantage, as usual.
Oh, no, it is. It's
Yeah,
already set that
It's already, everything's set to double roll, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier. Ooh, only an 8. Nope, nothing. Idicus, you're out on the edge of the forest, and it's foresty in there, and there's undeady things in that. So you're looking the other way, and you're looking to it really hard because you're the guard, and it's important, and you just got to do your job, right? I get it. Give me a perception check.
costume's higher.
It's okay. That just means it came from the south. You were watching north and you didn't see it. And that makes sense, too, because in the order we're in, Bickford, you're the first person to feel it. A cold wind blowing through the trees.
If there's a way an eye could audibly twitch, Iticus would have heard it. He's been leading his horse
Yeah.
kind of through the forest
you
just
would,
because
yeah.
it's easier. That cold wind, you see sort of the chill just sort of vibrate up his body and then back down. He looks at the horse and he looks at the field and he gets on the horse and he uses sending to tell Iticus and then Beowulf that something is wrong.
Okay.
It's like, I got a really bad feeling there's some cold bullshit going on, and I don't like cold bullshit.
So which direction do you go? Do you leap on your horse and?
He heads north.
So out of the trees, right?
Out of the trees. Because if it's coming from the south, then yeah.
Okay, so Beowulf, you're just behind them and off to the side. You hear that, you see that, jumps on the horse, heading for the edge of the forest. What do you do?
He's going to jump back on his horse because he was keeping their pace by walking with the horse. So he's going to jump back on the horse and basically do like the little cowboy thing. Let's go!
Wham! So, Iticus, you're watching north, and all of a sudden on the horses, one of your compatriots in there, going past you on the other side, the other compatriot. What do you do?
He's going to get on the horse and follow.
Just leap.
Like,
so the three of you
like,
are just tearing off down the edge of the Lurkwood, trapped between the Oh, it's the perfect place for it, isn't it? Between the Lurkwood and the river. On this side, rapids and unfordable water. On the other side, the Lurkwood, the sense of something following you, chasing along behind you. Your horses do not need to be spurred. They are going at full gallop without being asked. They're to that point where they're frothing, but they're not stopping. They will not stop until they're clear of the Lurkwood. They've just run in 5 minutes what should have taken hours. They can't go anymore. They start to stumble and almost fall, but at least now there's a couple 100 yards between you and the edge of the forest. The sense of dread and coolness falls away. You have to get off your horses and lead them to the water and let them drink, or they're going to fall. As they do, I'm assuming your eyes are just scanning the edge of the forest.
Bickford begins to unconsciously or subconsciously, like, first he grabs Smallford by mistake.
Yeah.
And then he reaches over and grabs the idol of Grancool.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of like, it almost looks like he's holding its hand.
Yep.
It's just sort of a half touch because it's hidden by the shield.
Yes. Yeah.
But he's definitely like.
Yep. Clericking. Good proper clericking. Hello, God, you there? Hi, how you doing? How you here? You ready? Okay, because this seems like it's a go time. So, all three of you give me perception checks again, please. That works. As bad as those are, this was one of those ones where whoever rolled highest was going to see it. So even with his second one of the night on a perception check, Bickford, it makes sense. You're looking. What were you looking for? That cold wind. What were you afraid you would see right now?
The thing he'd be most afraid to see was a black mask, but considering we're not in the Shadowfell, he's looking for shadows.
Okay, so you're looking for that, and maybe looking for a tiny vampire.
Yeah.
You don't see either of those. What you see in the trees, just a couple of trees in, is a woman all in white. White dress, very, very translucently pale white skin, white hair, white jewelry, white makeup. just looking at you and grinning.
He kind of like lightly taps Beowulf with Morning Skull and kind of points towards the woman.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of that.
Beowulf's gonna take a look as well.
Yep.
And I'm guessing a chill kind of would run down his spine as
Oh,
well.
yes. Yeah.
And he'd be like, yeah, that does not feel right. Very creepy.
Idicus? What's your response? Because you're like, what are you guys looking at? Oh.
Yeah, because at some point,
sorry?
At some point, Beowulf would tap Idicus anyway.
Yeah, for
with
sure.
his tail.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not human.
Whap.
More elven. Looks very elven.
Sorry again, y'all.
Nope.
He's walking up
Yep. You start
with Fred out.
Yeah.
Oh, can I insight check the lady from here? Or actually, no. Once Idicus starts moving towards her, I want to see what she does.
Okay. Insight check me. So yeah, roll that insight check as you're watching Idicus approach. It's you just can't read them, but there's there's something underneath that. It's not just that you can't read them, it's that there's something wrong. They don't project properly. There's nothing to read.
Mm.
Idicus, you start to step forward. You walk right up to them?
Mm-hmm.
She watches
With
you
Fred.
she watches you walk right up and just looks down at you, and she just seems to be getting taller and taller and taller as you get close. She's probably 7 feet tall.
Fred?
She looks down at you, and you feel just a wave of cold air, and you look up at her face. Give me an insight check. Idicus? Wow. I can't believe I say in that phrase, but I want to... 12.
12.
Yeah, you're just looking up going, Fred, waiting. She looks down at you, smiles what is meant to be an intimidating smile, gets no response from you at all because you totally failed to read it, lifts her head up and takes it to one side, and a cone of ice goes over your head, Idicus. It's like being underneath a fire hose of ice. As she, the whole field, stopping, I keep wanting to say meters, yards away from the other two of you at the edge of the river. She looks.
Beowulf's gonna take like a defensive stance now.
She looks down at you, Idicus, and snarls. And for just a second, you see her face contort and bend and start to get covered in scales, and a snout comes out with big teeth in it, and wings form on her shoulders. She's kind of half hybrid. Yeah? Nope. Just, bam! You just turn and run?
Yep.
So you read it across all this icy, broken, shattered terrain. Just little Idicus just go, no. As behind you, the three of you turn, well, maybe two of you, maybe Idicus isn't turning and looking, but the other two of you see she just shatters into 1,000 icy pieces and snows to the ground. Gone. All you hear is the wind say a name. Give me history check. That's a good one.
18.
That's not so good. That is very good. 2
20.
18s. Yeah. So.
What was the name? Sorry?
What was that?
What was the name?
Ilmrith. Ilmyrth, I think.
Okay.
I'll correct
And
that if
actually,
I'm
mine
wrong.
was at
I have no problem.
advantage, Kevin, so it's 20.
20. Okay. So yeah, the 20 and the 18, those still work. Ilmrith is a white dragon of ill repute, to put it mildly. They're a white, so they are typical white dragon, impulsive, violent, judgmental, all those bad things. Why she's interested in you, anybody's guess. But that's who she
Why
is.
she didn't stop and just attack right now? No say.
Mm-hmm. Dragons play the long game. They live thousands of years. This was like an introduction. This is a hi, I'm here.
Beowulf is going to pass this information to Bickford.
Bickford's like, fuck, another dragon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You actually see him. You actually see him like just.
Yeah.
Ah.
Beowulf, I'll give you this for your 22 bonus points. If Klauth was if this was normal circumstances, you're still fairly close to Klauth's territory. In a normal situation, there is no way that Ilmrith would be here. That would be the worst kind of dragon etiquette ever. It's like going into somebody's house without an invitation. So Ilmrith is essentially on a raid into Klauth's territory while Klauth is busy fighting giant Harshnag.
Harshnag. Mm-hmm.
But they've discovered you on the way.
Yeah. I say whatever we're gonna do, we better do. And do so quickly because I don't want to play with any more dragons yet.
Okay. Bickford's heartily agreeing as he's, adding another potential person who's going to eat my face to the list.
Yeah.
But, potential people who would get mad if my face got eaten includes two gods. So
Yes, there is that.
So
but revenge only goes so far, right?
Yeah.
You're still dead.
Right? So yeah, Bickford kind of, it's like, we should make double time on this one.
Let's let the horses rest up. Maybe you let them rest up for a few moments because they just pulled a really big burst of speed.
Yeah, kind of after we have made some distance from where we were, because we don't want to be.
We don't want to stay here. I mean, we can let them just go at a slow pace, and then we'll have them pick up in a little bit. We definitely need to get going.
Yeah, you guys can absolutely. Yeah, I really from here, it's just a long slog. It's about 2 more days travel along this river. At some point, you find a local fisherman who takes you across to the other side. I'm just speeding this along because I want to get to this next encounter. And you guys make the long hike up the valley. You've been here before with Harshnag. He brought you here the first time. Back to the Eye of the Allfather. But it's different this time. The doors are shattered and broken. As you approach, 2 of the 6 pillars that used to be outside in that beautiful sort of Greek-Roman portico thing have been shattered. Inside, giant claw marks mark that long hallway that lead to the central area. And from there on, some of the damage you guys did. Well, off to the south, there's the common room where you last saw Harshnag in battle or frozen in that chunk with the Remoras. The Remoras is now as many ice cubes shattered on the floor. This never-melting ice that used to be a creature. You can see that Harshnag obviously beat it at some point. But beyond that is the room of statues. The 6 giant statues or not 6, I think it's 8 statues of all the different kinds of giants, plus the Allfather in the middle. Mm-hmm. That Allfather statue, if you remember, fell and broke the portal into the place of the true Allfather, the ghost of the dead giant pinned to the floor under the ice.
Right.
And as you walk back into that room, the ice has regrown. It's a yard thick again. Over that surface. As you walk in the room, who's carrying the tooth? The giant tooth? Bickford, okay. You feel it sort of get warm. Like somebody's cast prestidigitation on it.
He's gonna pull it out and kind of like look at it. We never really got a chance to like attune to it, even though we probably
No,
should.
you don't really need to attune to this one, but
Okay.
I just want to finish painting the picture here. That dead giant is frozen under the ice inside a circle of runes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think it belongs to him? Pointing at the giant.
Well,
I don't know.
Beowulf,
Did he have a?
I'm
did he
gonna
have
go
a
right
missing
up to the
tooth?
giant. I don't remember.
You guys you guys can walk right up if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna get right up there and say, "Hey, we returned. We returned. Are you okay? Can you want to talk to us again?"
No response.
He's gonna whimper a little bit like the dogs do.
Yeah. Bigford.
He's gonna sort of walk over. He's lit a torch at this point.
Yep.
And as he's got the tooth in one arm and the torch in the other, he kind of like gets up to the edge of the circle just before the runes,
Yeah.
and kind of like poke the ice with the torch to try and see how quickly it melts, if at all.
As you hold it down towards the runes themselves start to glow.
Sort of along the rim.
As you do, the ice inside the circle starts to melt in the portion. As you light up a section of the runes, the section inside of that, the ice starts to melt towards the dead giant.
Huh. I think I figured it out. Sort of makes his way around.
Walk around the circle, and
Completes
as you
the
do
circle.
it, basically turns into like at first it turns out like a swimming pool. All the ice melts around this giant and is just like liquid water, and then that drifts out underneath the ice. So you're left with just the body in the center of the circle of runes.
With Beowulf right next to it,
Yeah, with Beowulf right next to it.
smelling of wet dog again.
The dead body doesn't move, but you realize that one of the hands is sort of in this position, like inverted on the chest in a very unnatural place, but there's clearly something supposed to go there. It wasn't like that when you left.
I think he wants the tooth.
Sort of walks over, puts it on the hand, quickly scrambles back because he knows giants get up quickly,
Yes.
quicker than they
Oh,
look.
Beowulf is going to stay nearby.
Scan. There it is. The gold tooth starts to vibrate, and on the wall to one side, a smooth wall is just, and this. At first, it almost looks like a figure coming out, but it's actually almost like a statue being forced through the brick wall. It's of a huge giant, dressed all in plate mail, with, even in the statue you can tell it's got a flame motif all over it, and whoever has carved this is magical in talent, because the skin looks like it's on fire, the eyes look like they shoot flames. This is a fire giant. You hear a deep voice resonate from the body on the ground in front of you. The mouth doesn't move. It's clearly not alive, but from that, the oracle speaks. Travel east, over mountains and snow, to distant spires. There, on a cold mountainside, you'll find a village of yak folk, and below that, iron slag. The forge of the fire giant Duke, Zaito. The conch you seek is in his private quarters. And the water immediately starts to freeze.
Beowulf gets out of the middle of the ruins. He doesn't want to get stuck in the ice.
Yes, as you do, it's probably a good thing you did, because a huge, gigantic, armor-clad arm, that the armor seems to be on fire. It's the real Duke's arm, reaches up out of that water, grabs the gold tooth, and back down onto the surface. Beowulf, you're the only one in the water. You're the only one that can see it. You look down, and it's kind of the foreshadowing, almost like a selfie stick. Like you're in that sort of position looking down on them. As they bring their tooth back down, pull open the plate mail armor, push
Basically,
it
put
back
where it
in, slams the gate back down, and turns around and heads back into an indistinct battle behind them. You scramble out of the water. Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be frozen.
Yeah.
He shakes off some water because he's pretty sure that's going to freeze it at some point, and he doesn't want to get too cold.
Yep.
He turns to the other two and says, "That tooth belonged to the giant, and he just put it back in his mouth. Yeah. But I do suggest that we possibly get going and find this conch already."
Bickford nods. He's never been that far east.
It is all the way in the top left-hand corner
Yeah,
of this
no
map.
kidding.
It is
I was gonna
a
say, yeah, I saw
long,
that.
long ways. You guys are here at the Eye of the Allfather, and don't worry, we're gonna go even faster to get you to Iron Slag than we did to get you to here. But it is way over here in the corner of the map.
Yeah. Way over here.
So it is ages and miles and far away. But that's okay, because we're going to get you there all but instantaneously. Because in the main chamber behind you, where all the statues are, there's a crinkling of ice and rock on the floor. And as you walk out, you can see the outline of a teleportation circle starting to form in the ice. And you look into it, and you can see... I mean, you guys were there, I believe. Bearun as well? You went to that one, right?
Where?
Where's that?
No, we didn't go that direction.
No.
Okay, well, you didn't go there. It doesn't matter, because there was an artifact there, so I can send you there. That's even better. The artifact is still there. This makes even more sense. Yeah, see how I twisted that to make it look like it was part of my plan? It's still there, so it can actually track that artifact using the fact that you've hunted them before. And as you step through, this means leaving the horses behind. You won't teleport horses. They have a strict no pets policy on this
No pets
teleportation
policy. I
service.
knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
It's a no pet flight.
That's right. But
Ranger
bam.
companions are employees.
Yeah. So, bamf, you guys find yourself at Bearun as well, which I really should have had open, but I can get open here in a second, so I can tell you what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I forgot that, I didn't know we were coming here. It is you find yourselves inside, oh, this is creepy actually. You just, and you're inside an ice-cold cavern whose ceiling is partly open to the sky. Everywhere around you, swirling ice-cold winds. Bigford, you notice some talismans carved in a rock, that carved out of rock, sort of the Easter Island head sort of equivalent, but much smaller, that let you know this is the area of the Black Lion and Red Tiger tribes of the Uthgard barbarians. This would be a very bad place to get caught.
Yeah. And at the same time, Bigford is also resisting the urge to draw dicks all over the place.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
Well, I mean, you're about to
straight
leave, so-
face the place.
Yeah.
Um.
Pee on an altar or two. I get you. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Beowulf beats him to it.
A little
and keep
defiling, yeah. Beowulf
little
lifts a leg.
you know?
Please tell me Beowulf lifts a leg when they pee. Just
Yeah,
walk
you
up
gotta
to
get down
something.
on all
Just...
fours, lift the leg, and just go to town. Go, whee!
So yeah, you guys have some fun defiling a place. That's good. That's
Yeah.
nice. And then
Might
you
as
head
well.
forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You head into the trees.
Carefully make our way out.
It's called the Cold Wood that you're heading through, and it's miserable. There's always frost on the trees. It's always a cold wind. And of course, every time it blows on the back of your neck, you're turning around looking for a crazy lady all dressed in white, right?
Beowulf's actually looking for white wolves.
White wolves, okay, yeah. Keep an
Wolves
eye
that
out
are,
for that. Yeah.
wolves that are white in color, to hide in the shadows. And
Yes,
stuff.
yep. Well, as you get closer and closer to Iron Slag, you get to a clearing where you can see the hills ahead of you for the first time. And hills is an understatement. I called them hills, but that's because I grew up in real mountains. These things go up. To me, a mountain starts when you get past the tree line. So, if it grows past the tree line, that's a mountain. Grows. They don't grow. Shut up, Kevin. If it's bigger than that, some of them do, if they're volcanic. Never mind. Ahead of you, you see granite cliffs 600 to 700 feet high. Just a wall, seemingly unclimbable and unpenetrable. Except there's a clear line that runs up at an angle. It never changes. It keeps going and going and going. It's clearly a staircase with thousands of steps. And right at the top of it, you can just see a hint of smoke and the palisade of a wooden wall.
I think I'll leave that giant alone.
He's just thinking, it's like, I guess I'm not skipping leg day. Because there's no way we're getting up other than that way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we have to go. That's how we have to go.
Edicus is about to apologize for doing something amazing. What are you going to do, Edicus? Don't apologize. Just do it.
Edicus is going to take out his magic 8-ball
Yep.
and shake it, asking if there's an easier way up.
That's so smart. All right. I could press the button and see if this works. There it is. Okay. So what exactly is the question? I want to hear it in Edicus's voice.
Is there a easier way up?
Shake the ball. The answer comes up. Most likely.
Oh, okay.
It's not that useful, but there you go. Oops.
He's gonna look around for maybe an easier
Yep.
way.
Fair enough. Because of most likely. So I got to make this work. You start looking around at the root of this, and you find. Yeah, why not? It's going to mean an early end to tonight because it's going to take some planning on my part. But yes, I'm going to answer your request for a dream entrance with a nightmare. At the very bottom of this cliff. So you can see the staircase goes up like that. The village is up here. Directly below that, at the very bottom of the cliff, Edicus, you see a little bit of steam and smoke coming out of a crack in the ground.
He'll hide his magic 8-ball, go over to Bigfoot and Goblin.
Easier way up.
Follows Edicus's fingers, like, also, we're not as exposed, not as likely to get shot by dragons. Hey, Beowulf, I think Edicus found a good spot for us to go through.
Okay.
Secret way.
If you think it's safe, then we can. Why not?
Safer than getting shot or breathed on by a dragon.
Okay, that's a good point, because, the stairs are kind of out in the open anyway. So, he's going to go and check out the location that Edicus pointed out.
All right. The three of you move forward through the last of the trees, and out at the base of this mountain, there's a scree slope of shattered granite at the bottom, just little bits and pieces broken away, and at the top of that, this little crack. And in it, you can see a bit of steam and smoke. As you get closer, it stinks. It smells like sulfur and oil and fire and burned all kinds of stuff. It smells like things have been made very hot. It smells like a forge, deep underground. What do you do? It's just this little crack ahead of you. Like, Edicus, you can walk standing up. The other two are going to have to crouch.
If he's the only one who can go through, he'll turn.
I go through and check. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. But, and he puts his hand on Edicus' shoulder. if anything doesn't look like a Fred, and most of it will not look like a Fred, you come back. Be safe.
Okay.
And he'll just walk on through.
So you're just gonna head in by yourself, okay?
Big Fred's gonna like crouch down. He's gonna watch Iticus. Like
you.
And we'll be beside.
Yeah, so the two of you are peering down there like you're. Oh, I said like you're, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna say, but I know. You're like the parents that just took their kid to kindergarten on the first day, and you dropped them off, and you went around the corner. And you're hiding around the corner looking through the friggin' fence. Yeah, that's the two of you right now.
Right.
Iticus. Well, you tell me. You're in this little safe little space, moving forward into unknown territory. What's going through your head?
I need to stealth
Yep.
because I don't know what's on the other side.
Yep.
But I'm kind of hoping that like these are just like good old like
good old-fashioned dwarves.
kind of
Yeah.
dwarves or like friendly giants that I can just make friends with and they'll help us out. Like
Yes.
it's gonna be all good.
Absolutely. So you skitter down this tube safely and quietly. You come to a place where it joins another one of these cracks, but that one's got water running down it. So you keep going. You know, it's not your feet are getting wet. It's cold water because it's melting ice from outside. But you know, you're Warforged. You don't care. And another one joins, and another one, and another one. Each one of them's got water, and pretty soon you're almost up to your knees, and you're kind of having to brace yourself on the side of the tunnel, and not to think about how difficult it's going to be to turn and go back up this if you have to. And you work your way down and work your way down, and you finally you see ahead of you that it opens up. And as you get down to that opening, you look down into a huge room. I mean, it is massive. It's giant scale room. And all this water is coming out of this crack in the wall and plunging into one of 3 giant wooden cisterns. And when I mean giant, I mean the planks that make up the wooden walls of the cistern. Each one of them is a tree, held together by iron bars that are taller than you are. There's, I mean, Iticus wouldn't even know this number, but there's tens of thousands of gallons of ice cold water in these 3 cisterns. There's holes and pipes and stuff all over the place. But I think that's probably about as much as Iticus would be able to make out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you the whole plumbing until somebody comes down here and has a look.
Is there anywhere like that I can stand on and just like look down?
Yes, you're standing in this space. If you go one step further, you're going to be in this room, and you're not going to be able to get back up here. So, yeah, the image that I've got in my head is these 3 huge pools. Like each one's like a swimming pool, but round. And then the camera pans up this almost perfect wall to this tiny crack, and it zooms in and zooms in closer. And little Iticus is just like got your arms and legs out like this, bracing as the water runs out between your legs and into this one of the 3 pools.
He remembered, and I know he doesn't have the spell message.
Yep.
But he remembered watching Bigford do it.
Yep.
So he's gonna act like he's sending message
Okay.
to Bigford and thinking, I can't get back, there's a river.
Iticus.
He doesn't have message. He just saw Bigford do it.
There's more to it. There's so much more to it than that, Iticus. That's Iticus's reasoning, right? I saw Bigford do it, so I can do it. You start to do it, and Iticus, it works. Because Iticus is a god now. There are churches to Iticus. Iticus has great powers. One of the great powers of Iticus is that they can do whatever needs to be done at a moment where it becomes narratively necessary. So,
Iticus ex machina.
that's right. You concentrate. Well, you know what? This is even. I can make it even easier than that. You think you can, so you can. I mean, that's how magic works, right? That's really how magic works. So you think you can, so you damn well do. What was the message?
Can't make it back, there's a river.
And you sent that to who?
Bigford.
Right to Bigford. Bigford, you hear
Because he
Iticus's
thinks that
voice in your
Bigford's the
head.
only one.
Yes,
Don't
you've got
make so.
message. You know what happened, but you're like, wait a minute, rogues don't have message. But what do? Did Jesus Criticus?
Jesus.
And yes, dream logic. That is exactly what this is. Iticus,
Yeah.
Iticus is dream logic. As Sean Bean once famously said, "You can't sue me. I'm fictional."
In any case we trust.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Bickford falls on his ass.
he's
What the
yeah.
fucking okay?
Yeah, how many times have you put a message in somebody's head in your life, and then it's just happened to you probably for the first time?
He's used to getting answers.
Yes, but not somebody else starting.
Because that's just the nature of the spell.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, Bickford falls on his ass. Like, holy shit!
you get to respond up to 25 letters or 25 words.
That's sending.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Yeah. Bickford's like, okay. Sort of looks to Beowulf, and
Beowulf just got this confused look on his face, like, what the hell?
yeah. So, Iticus can't come back. There's a river, and the little shit just cast a spell on me. So yeah, he can cast magic now. Note that for later. We should get
Yeah,
in
we'll
there.
figure that out. Let's just go.
Yeah.
And the two
Be
of
Beowulf
you,
careful though.
Beowulf goes first.
you gotta
He's
crouch
actually
down
gonna get to the-
and it's uncomfortable.
He said it's going
and
down,
wet.
right?
Yep.
Well, sorry, Atticus, but here comes Beowulf's fun. He's gonna see the river finally going down. He's like, okay, time to play. Flat down on his stomach.
Yep.
Superman!
Yeah, you didn't tell him you were blocking the hole, so yeah, this is fair.
He's just gonna lay down on his stomach and let the
Full
water
splooge.
Yep.
push him down like a water slide.
Bigford, your dog just fucked off in the park. What do you do? Now you're missing a kid and a dog. You are the
There's
worst
a few
parent
seconds-
ever.
A few second pause.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see where Zulthus gets it. Okay then. And he starts to go in. He's not doing what Beowulf
Okay.
did, but he's kind of like huggy wuggying it
Yep,
down.
Absolutely.
Big long arms, kind of bracing.
Just for the off chance, give me a... No, I didn't make Iticus do it. I'm not going to make you do it. You make your way down in a safe and orderly fashion. Beowulf, you do not. You water slide this sucker, and it's just bam, 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 bouncing off the walls. And I mean, it's stone. But you're a dog, so it's like, yeah, okay, the bruises will go away. This is fun. I'm wet.
He's having his- he's
Some got
having
my
a
nose.
terrible
As you're still flying down, and you just have time to shake the hair out of your eyes, and you see Iticus like spread eagled ahead of you, and then just poof, right through. I'm not even going to give
Robot
Iticus
blood.
a roll. You just took like 200 pounds of wet dog in the spine. You guys are going. And so the two of you,
Yeah, I'm guessing as Beowulf tumbles, he'll
Yeah.
grab Atticus like in a protective little ball.
and
Are we
then just,
cannonballing
all
into
the-
the
and then-
city?
and then boom.
All I
whoosh.
hear
Yeah,
in my head
yeah.
is Goofy going woohoo.
Yeah. And then it's a dog
That's
flume,
exactly it.
yes. And then this huge splash. The two of you struggle back to the surface because I'm betting Warforged don't swim very well. And I mean, dogs they swim, but it's a lot of work. Right, so the two of you are kind of struggling to the edge of this huge pool when you hear a giant-sized door open into this room. Bickford, you get to the opening. You look down to see the concentric rings of this, just a bloop, bloop in the pool. The two of them struggling towards the side. And you look up, and in full plate armor stand two fire giants. Weapons sheathed with huge buckets in their hands. And you don't speak giant, right? Or do you?
No.
No.
Beowulf does.
Iticus
Beowulf
does?
and Iticus.
So the two of you,
Beowulf
as you break the surface, you can't see them, but you can hear outside this citron son bitch, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe that your bed was so messed up that we got sent on water duty, you ass. The rest of them are out there killing stuff. You ass. And he slams the other one into the wall, and they're almost about to get in a fight. Why is there water all over the floor?
Oh, no.
And that's where we will drop the curtain on tonight.
Okay,
Yeah.
to explain how Itikus would have made it up to the side,
Yeah.
I would assume that he would have seen Beowulf's tail, and once Beowulf was able to get to the side, he would have moved it. He would have felt Itikus grab the tail,
Well,
and
We'll get
Beowulf
the-
would have pulled him up.
We'll get the two of you up over the edge of that bucket and looking at these fine, young, angry fellows
Tweedledee and
next
Tweedledum.
week. Yes, they're angry. Well, for those that don't know, fire giants are very militaristic, violent, and that sort of thing. So these guys, basically, they're in basic training and they messed up their bed. So they have to do the equivalent of peeling potatoes. And in this case, it's going to get the water. So
They
that
got busted by their DI.
dun dun dun. Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, they couldn't bounce a platinum coin this big off of their bed sheet. So, yeah, now they're on water duty all week. Dun dun dun, indeed. Draculou, thank you so much. We saw you here all night. Thank you. I'll get back to those thank yous in just a second, but I got to do these in order because I'm old and I forget shit. So I have to thank my players first.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all of you. Solar, Beowulf. That moment when you threw yourself in the water slide, it was like, oh yes, there is a puppy in there. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For the sub and that 3
And the
months.
bits.
Wow, and the bits and everything. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
But thank you so much to Solar. Thanks. It's fun to do too. You can do it too. Just go to our Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me put the link. I'm gonna make this really easy. You can be one of these people.
Oh yeah.
Go to the Discord, sign up, pick a role so that you can see everything. Let us know that you're interested. And when I got space, the rule is if you want to play, you get to play. You can be in one of these streamed games. We do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But
Yep.
jump back. Beowulf
Back to
sliding in the dog in the water slide. You just made yourself like you just turned yourself into a TikTok video. So thank you so much for that.
That's kind of where my mind went. As soon as I
And
heard
considering
it goes down, I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, sliding time.
It's dog in a slide. Dog in
and
a slide.
because
time.
it takes out Itikus, it's America's Funniest Videos video.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a fail army.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
There
Yeah.
you go. Fail Army's
Yeah.
the new one.
Oh yeah, I'm old.
Aussie guys, Destination F. But yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
One of those. So thank you for that. I love those moments where you kind of don't expect it. I was watching all your faces, and yeah, everybody else was. I wasn't the only one that went, "Whoa, shit!" Wow. So thank you for that. Oh, Bison, the only dad left. Used to be a family with like 3 dads, and now you're the only one left. I hope you
really
enjoyed
bad
it.
at it.
Yeah, and yes, losing. Yeah, like I said, you just lost your dog and your kid all and started the war with some giants. But anyway, thank you so much for bringing this character and maintaining some form of barbarian dignity through it all, with no hair on your ass and your head and one finger now.
Yeah.
And the sometimes drunk uncle.
Yes, the drunk uncle.
the sometimes drunk uncle, yes. And finally, but certainly not least of all, Sarah, thank you for Itikus again. And there was a big moment tonight, and it's probably not what you think. The really big moment is you did an Itikus thing without apologizing first. And that made me so happy. The first one you apologized for. The second one, it was just like, nope, and you did it. And that makes me so happy. So thank you for that.
I'm always worried. I'm like, something bad's gonna happen from this. I just don't want to be the one
Of
who
course
hurts
it
the
is. But because it was a brilliant idea, and it's Itikus, and you know what I do, brilliant ideas get rewarded, not punished. So there's always a way around it. You didn't get killed by the dragon lady tonight because you asked a crazy white dragon lady if you could be friends. So there's no even that got through to her one functioning emotion, right?
The
Oh,
2 brain cells.
You make me uncomfortable. I'm going to freeze some grass. Ah, yes, yes. Iticus is amazing, and I love them to bits. And thank you for playing them. All of these characters are amazing. I love them all to bits, and they're all so different, and they fit together so well. But that brings us to the final two thank yous, and the first one is to all the people in chat. The ones that subscribed, thank you. The ones that donated bits, thank you. Will this idea end my party? No, none of them will ever, because they're all good ideas. But thank you to everybody that is there. Every week and every not week, but sign up and we can play. We got all kinds of goodies coming up. The other thank you is to the fine folks on YouTube who are watching this in the future. If you watched all the way to here, please hit that like button, because we know you did, because you watched all the way to here. And if you did, also hit that bell, because I proved it again today. I'm terrible when it comes to getting stuff up on anything remotely like a schedule onto YouTube. So just hit the bell, that way you'll get told, and then you'll know, and you can go and watch it all and get caught up. I do want to say one more thing before I do the closer, though, because this upcoming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everybody. It's being marketed far and wide all over the verse of Twitter and elsewheres. Please use your socials to spread this. It is going to be a 3-night charity event here on Dirty 20 Gaming, and I'm so happy to be part of this. We're doing this for the Equal Justice Initiative. Which is working at their core to rewrite what American justice means and at least make it just. So we'll get more details next week. Got write-ups and informations and all kinds of stuff, but believe me when I say it is a great cause. All 3 nights we're going to be playing Tiny Frontiers, all 3 nights different games. Friday night is going to be a one-shot. Saturday night is going to be the grand finale of our Aftermath campaign. And then Sunday night is another one-shot, which is a cheese-based space opera Curse of Strahd satire called Curds of Straw. That's the 3 nights. There's the link. Thank you. You can donate now and let me know who you were, or wait till we start and donate. But here's the deal. Every other stream in the world, I think, does the $5 for a reroll or $20 for a nat 20 thing. We're not going to do that because I give you guys rerolls all the times, and there's no nat 20s in Tiny Frontiers. So what we're going to do instead is throw me under the bus. For a $10 donation, you can create an NPC in 1 sentence in the Twitch chat, and I have to put them in the game. And I have to make sense of that. For $10, you can do that to me. If you group up in a bunch, and 3 or 4 of you do it at once, I have to put 3 or 4 NPCs in the game as long as they're $10 each. I will do that gladly. Now here's the kicker. This is something not a lot of people do. I am opening this up to the players in the game that they're in. So if you're in a game for $10, you can create an NPC that is specifically here to help you. Oh, here come the bus. Bring all your friends. Bring the whole fleet of buses. Bring all the buses. Bring the double-decker buses. I have been looking forward to this since I thought of this. The whole crew of the Enterprise.
Yes.
I'm in.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6. That's $60 for the whole. No, 70. I forgot security. And you have to tell me which generation too. Oh my God. Oh, you know what, guys?
Dracula.
Well, because you're basically threatening me with love here, I'm gonna respond in kind. They have, if you look at that Tiltify thing, the hoped for amount is $500. So that's 50 NPCs over the course of 3 nights. That's 50 NPCs in 6 hours. That's 12 per hour. If we can make $500 over 3 days, I will do 12 NPCs an hour for 6 hours and still tell all 3 stories. Pen drop. That's what that is right there. That is so.
Shit.
Get everybody together that you know. Make me sweat. Make me pay for my arrogance, please, 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 because the money is going to an amazing cause. And if we can get anywhere near that $500, I will be super happy. If we can get there, I will cry. I guarantee it. And if we somehow get beyond it, I don't know what I'll do. But there it is. You've got a week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. each night. We're playing Tiny Frontiers. It is a space opera game. I don't care where you pull your NPCs from. If I don't know who they are, like if you say so-and-so from a show and I don't know it, or I don't think it's appropriate, I will give you the opportunity to do another one. Yeah, just to cover the options. But there it is. The offer's on the table, and parts of me are starting to sweat already. I just kind of listened into my head to what I just said. 12 an hour. That's one every 5 minutes. And still tell the story. Here comes me. Oh my God. All the NPCs from other games, because somebody threatened to put Impulse in here too. Oh. All right.
Namihush, I think, would probably break the game, and if I do it, it'd probably be the Courage of Straw.
Well, bring them in. I said I will be running them, so I can't guarantee they'll do what you want them to do. But you bring them in, I will bring them into the game.
You know how destructive she is, so.
Oh, you can't go back, right? You can't rewind reality and like take something back, right? That's not allowed. No, it isn't. Fuck that. I'm doing this. This is my moment. Oh, thank you, Thunderscape. I am hoping beyond all hope that I get to do both of those. So somebody's that's $20, I hope, right there.
Oh my God.
In fact, I'll keep one of them around for the whole rest of the night if somebody does that. One of them will join the party. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. With that, you've got a week to think about it. Make a list, open up an Excel page, call your friends, call your enemies, call my friends, call my enemies. Let's do this. There's going to be a whole bunch of people coming here too that are complete and utter strangers to Dirty 20 Gaming and what we do. So
They're not prepared.
I want to blow them out of the water with what they see on the screen, and I want to doubly blow them out of the water with what they see in the donation bar. So I'm going to start things off. I just this week got a payout from Twitch, from all of you wonderful people. And so the first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the donations off when we open our Friday game with a $50 donation. That's 5 characters for people that can't afford to do it, but have a character that want to put in this. Not everybody in our group can afford $10, and I'm not calling you out, and I'm not saying a word, but we're going to start this game with 5 free NPCs on the table. Those of you that can afford to pay for one, please do. But there's 5 there for those that can't. We'll see you on Friday. And until then, think terrible things to do to me. But while you do that, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Good night.
Night, y'all.